Good afternoon. My name is Nicole Listema, and I will be conducting your weekly weather briefing for March 6, 2025 from the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia. Some of the things we'll talk about today include the growing season that has started for areas outside of the Northeast Georgia mountains. However, temperatures are going to briefly increase ahead of a cold front this weekend, but then dip back down to below normal values again for the late weekend into early next week. We have some good rain chances with the front that's going to come through this weekend. But before we get to that, we could have some hazardous fire weather conditions likely tomorrow. First, let's get into a recap of what happened early Wednesday morning across much of north and central Georgia. Yesterday's line of thunderstorms developed out ahead of a cold front and moved through during the early morning hours. The National Weather Service in Peachtree City ended up issuing 17 severe thunderstorm warnings, and so far we've had 68 reports of damage. Most of the damage has been downed trees or power lines, but we did have 2 reports of trees on homes. Let's take a look at the current weather map. We have high pressure centered across the central United States, with a high pressure ridge extending all the way off the east coast. Yesterday's cold front has moved well south and east of Georgia, and the high pressure and dry conditions are expected to continue through Friday. Today's high temperatures remain around 10 degrees below normal and will range from about the upper 40s in the mountains to lower 60s across central portions of Georgia. The below normal temperatures will continue into tonight. Minimum temperatures will range from the middle 20s in the northeast Georgia mountains to middle to upper 30s across central portions of the state. With mostly clear skies and near calm winds expected, patchy to widespread areas of frost will be possible tonight. In northwest portions of the state, a freeze watch is in effect for temperatures that could dip to near 32 degrees. This will have the potential to be upgraded to a freeze warning later today. A frost advisory is in effect for central portions of the state, mainly along the I-20, I-85, I-75, and I-16 corridors. On March 5th, 2025, the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, in coordination with our University of Georgia agricultural partners, began the growing season for the spring. Peaches and blueberries have started to bloom across portions of central Georgia, and a freeze or widespread frost could cause damage to the blooming fruit crops. The growing season for far northeast Georgia typically begins in mid-April, but may have to be started earlier if prolonged periods of above normal temperatures occur. The high pressure ridge currently in place across the southeast United States will shift east through Friday as a cold front approaches from the west. This front is expected to impact much of north and central Georgia later Saturday into Sunday. Rainfall amounts expected with this weather system will generally average 1/4 to 1 inch south of the I-20 corridor, and north of the I-20 corridor, precipitation amounts will be lighter and average generally around 1/10 of an inch. This precipitation is mainly expected Friday night through Monday afternoon. These rain amounts will be very beneficial as most of the outlook area remains abnormally dry to within moderate drought conditions, according to the latest U.S. Drought Monitor for Georgia issued on March 4, 2025. Low-level moisture will not have much of a chance to increase across north and central Georgia ahead of the cold front expected this weekend. Minimum relative humidity values on Friday are expected to remain low, especially along and east of the I-85 corridor, with values ranging from the upper teens to lower 20s. This will lead to increased fire danger conditions expected across that area. Relative humidity values may stay just above criteria north and west of the 85 corridor due to increased cloud cover. Winds will be out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles an hour, and a fire danger statement may be needed for those areas where relative humidities are below 25%. Along with beneficial rains and cooler temperatures, the frontal system expected to impact north and central Georgia this weekend will also bring the potential for isolated to scattered thunderstorms. The best instability and deepest moisture with the system should hug the Gulf Coast. Therefore, thunderstorms will mainly be possible along and south of the Carrollton to Sandersville line. Severe weather is not anticipated at this time, but a few strong storms will be possible Saturday into Sunday. Thank you for taking the time to listening to this week's weekly weather briefing. Just remember, the growing season has begun for much of north and central Georgia. Behind the cold front this weekend will be another cold period of temperatures. Persons with agricultural interests should pay attention to the temperature forecast for Sunday night and Monday night. This frontal system will also bring another round of beneficial rains and a chance of thunderstorms. If you have questions or comments about this week's weekly weather briefing, the National Weather Service in Peachtree City can be reached by phone, by NWS chat, email, or on any of the social media platforms. Thank you and have a great weekend.